All right, so now we have learned what unlock protocol can do. We've learned what the concept of locks are. We've gone through an example of creating the lock and the checkout flow for it and purchasing the lock with a MetaMask wallet. And we explained that users who don't have a wallet yet can actually get the NFTs through a function called the unlock account powered by the unlock protocol. So now we're going to show how this all ties into Sentry and what's possible in terms of token gating on Sentry with unlock smart contracts. So here we have the address that we just minted the NFT on, and we see it got delivered to the wallet, and we were charged the amount that was specified in the lock settings, plus the gas, whatever gas it costed. On Polygon, we're talking a matter of cents. On Ethereum, obviously, gas is more expensive. So that's why most of people who approach us opt in to deploy these types of use cases on Polygon or Binance Smart Chain. So let's click on here to see a bit more about the lock itself. And if we click here on the contract address and on the token tracker, we will see that the lock contract address that is found here, if I go back to locks, you see it ends EC30. We see that the contract address here that delivered that one NFT to my wallet ends in EC30. And if we go in holders, obviously I was the only person so far who's minted one, and I can see that right here. So when we want to create a room for this on Sentry, let's say a host approaches us and says, I created my lock and now I want to create a room for it. All they do is fill out our onboarding form, specify their contract address, what entry criteria they want to enforce, and we simply go and create a room for them. So let's do that right now. Right now we're in the token manager or the administrative manager for the platform where us Sentry can deploy rooms for customers. And so if we go into the tokens tab, we'll see that the contract address that we want to import has not yet been configured with the system. And so since we're on Gorley, we're going to click here and we're going to click ERC721. We're on test on the staging version of Sentry, and so that's why it is integrated to Gorley. So when I'm specifying the contract address that I want to map to a room, I simply go here and provide the contract address. You can go over here and put whatever symbol you want to be displayed within the app. So NFT ticket. And then here we could put NFTT, for example. We'd put 0 decimals and we would simply choose a logo file to represent the token. So this can be your token badge or your brand logo, whatever it is. This will be displayed on the front end to people when they enter your room. So now that I have created this NFT ticket test, I gave it the symbol NFTT. I specified the contract address. Now when I'm going to create a room, I'm going to select this token as the one I want to gate around. So let's do that. Click on rooms. We're going to create a new room group. A room group can house one or multiple rooms. Those rooms can be individual or they can be tiered, which we call a layered room. So for this demo, we're just going to create one room within a room group, but know that you could have as many rooms as you want, and each of the rooms can have different gating criteria with their own set of content, their own set of utilities that are being delivered to users. So let's call this NFT ticketing test, and we will assign it as a demo room. So let's reload this page. And what we'll see is we will see that now we have the NFT ticketing test room group that's been created. It's been paired with the room category of demo rooms. And now if I want to add a room within the group, I simply click add room. And here's where I'll be prompted to enter the settings. So I give the room a name. So let's call it NFT ticketing. Let's give it a unique URL of NFTT. Let's select the token that we just created in the token manager. And let's specify that one NFT from the smart contract is required to enter this room. So once we've set this up, we have these different parameters here that we can enforce to have a different user experience when people are in the room. We can also enforce a capacity limit, saying only the first 100 people who hold this NFT can enter this room at any given time. As people leave the room and exit it, capacity then gets given back and people can hop in. But at any point, the host of the room can put this limit to whatever they want. For all of our quick onboarding types of projects that we host, the maximum limit for our room size is 10,000 holders. So for this example, we're just going to put 100, and we're going to assign, I'll put Chris as a room owner. Boom. So you can assign room owners, room moderators, and bouncers. Room owners have administrative capabilities within the room. They can ban users, kick them out, delete posts. They're in charge of, that's why we call them hosts and room owners. They're in charge of governing their own room. Moderators are there to assist administrators in terms of moderating content that's posted within the room, and then keeping engagement up. And then bouncers are people who can be assigned to specific events to be able to scan access passes at the door so that qualifying holders can enter events and be validated at the door. We'll show you that in a bit. Down here, if we go here, we see that we can actually set up a Shopify store to be gated within this room. We just have to provide these three inputs, which we'll create another video to show you how to do that. And then we can decide, do we want to configure a welcome screen for new people entering the room or not. If we do turn this on, then these utilities will be shown with the labeling that you specify and in the order you specify, and you can hide or show any one of these as you want, depending on what utilities you deliver to holders. So if you're not delivering any token gated shop, you can just go ahead and hide it. If you are, you turn it on. So for the purpose of this, we're going to leave these three on. We're going to drag this one down. And here we're just going to put some silly information so that we can continue with the wizard. Perfect. And now here, what you can do with these settings here is you can specify if a holder does not have enough tokens to enter the room, you can specify, show them something specific. You can link them to somewhere specific on your website that helps them understand how to become a part of the community. And then same thing, if your room has reached max capacity, you can customize a whole different array of helpful information to let the user know why they're not allowed in the room. If it's not, if they're holding the token but they're still not allowed in, they need to know why. And so this just allows you as a host to quickly educate them on that. And then below here, you can assign a room logo and a room background image that will be shown on the invite page of your project. And the logo should be shown on the room sidebar when people are interfacing with your room. So here I'm just going to go and choose these two files that I've prepared for this demo. perfect down here. And then here I could go and specify some messaging. So let's just use the same image for simplicity's sake. Sorry, you must hold the right amount of tokens to enter this room. Please click the link below to learn more. And then you could link this to a helpful page on your website. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to put Sentr3, and then down here you can kind of configure the same thing. Oops, it appears that this room has reached max capacity. Discover how to help increase room capacity below by making a request to the room host. So you can configure this however you want as a host, and the goal is to facilitate onboarding for people who are going to your room but who either don't have enough tokens or the room's full. At least they're not left hanging. So once that's done, you can also go and pair custom meta links related to your project. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to put one that's information based, and we're going to link to Sentr3.com. So now if I click add new, the room is going to get created by the system, and what's going to be produced on the Sentr3 end is a room link for the room that's just been created. So if we go here, we know our room slug is here. It ends with NFT. Really interesting, what we're working on right now as well is soon you'll be able to pair your room group with a domain name so that you can have a custom branded set of rooms with your own usage stats across your different communities. And this is a web-only white label. So it makes it really easy for any host to approach us and say, we want to host a branded room, we want it on our own domain name, and we kind of only want our rooms within our room group to show when people are interfacing via our domain name, with all the same bells and whistles that the normal Sentr3 version has. So people who opt into the Prime plan can enable this functionality. It's going to be coming in the coming month or two, and it's quite powerful. So now we're just going to look at what does that room that we just created look like on the front end. So every room on Sentr3, like I said, has a room link. So it's simple. It's /room/ whatever the room URL ID was specified in the room settings. So for this case, let's just make sure we're logged out. Let's just log out of this account so that we have a fresh demo. So now I've called the room URL, and this is the type of room URL that you can link to from the thank you page that you would point to after checkout on Unlock Flow. And you see here one of the methods to sign up is actually through Unlock. So what happens now, I have the NFT for this room on my wallet, right? And so I'm not sure if an account already exists for this wallet, but we're just going to go ahead and try and see if one does. So we just want to make sure here that, so we're not currently on the right wallet, so we're just going to flick into the right wallet. So this might happen to you as well. In your MetaMask, you want to make sure that you are interfacing with the site from the right wallet. Let's just see, sometimes MetaMask can be a bit buggy when we're... So let's cancel this. And when we're here, it'll work eventually. So here, now I click go. So now I'm officially connected. When I'm going to log in through MetaMask, I will be logging in through the right wallet. Most people only have one wallet. We have many on testnet versions for testing different chains and stuff. So definitely is smoother for the average user. So let me go back to that room link, that unique room link, and sign in. So boom, now I'm prompted here to confirm everything on my MetaMask. We'll see that it's interfacing with the right wallet now. I sign this challenge to prove ownership of my wallet. And yes, it's a new account. So I'm going to call this test user 11. And now I have my account. If I go into NFT here, I'll see that this room has been created. And you see that the system has found my one NFT ticket on here. And because of that, I can actually go into the room. If it didn't have this NFT on my wallet, I would be shown the custom lock message that's shown to people who don't qualify to enter the room. So what's interesting here is if I go back into the settings to show you quickly how hosts can make requests to change the available utilities on the platform, I would simply go into the room settings again. And what I could do is I could say NFT tickets, discussion channels, exclusive content, or online course lessons. Whatever you wanted to specify here would be reflected on the front end. And so now if I go back here, you see that it's still like that, but the moment I will click save, you see that all of this has been set up this way. So right now I'm not able to click on NFT tickets, or I'm not able to click on channels. Why? Because the host has not set any up yet, right? So let's say I wanted to view this as a host. We're just going to allow my user to actually be a host so that we can see what can be done within the room. So in here, I'm simply going to go in and add this user as a host. Click save. And now if I reload this page, I will be able to go into here and I will be able to start creating channels. And the channels are what you'd expect in a Slack or a Discord. You can make these conversation-based, announcement-based, however you want. You can make them public or gated according to the criteria of the room. That's completely up to you. So I'm going to drop off here and create another video, a lesson where I show you how to manage all of these utilities. So see you in the next video, and hope you found this one helpful.